Dear viewers, we are back and we have been joined by our guest, Mr. Hamza Taqi, the Master Performance Consultant. Good evening, welcome to Hala Kuwait.
Good evening, and thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. So now we're in the holy month of Ramadan, and you're an expert with a lot of things. So I'm sure people come to you with questions usually. So in the beginning, what are some questions that you do receive about Ramadan?
Well, really, I'm not the expert in that sense when it comes to Ramadan, but usually people ask me who are, expatriates who ask why Ramadan, why you fast, why you don't eat, and these kind of questions, or what are the benefits of Ramadan?
Exactly. Yeah. So what's your answer usually to that? What are the benefits of Ramadan in your own opinion? Of course, other than fasting and the good deeds that we're meant to be doing.
Exactly. And this month we focus on basically on not eating or refraining from eating or drinking for about 14, 16 hours a day, depending on where we are in this part of the world. But it's more than that. It's like, for me, the concept of Ramadan or the philosophy of Ramadan is like going into a boot camp where you can see stuff that it is permissible for you to use during 11 months of the year, and then all of a sudden in the month of Ramadan you are not supposed to drink, you are not supposed to eat for the whole day. And that's, for some people, they feel, why are you, punishing yourself for not eating, for, and food and drinking, especially drinking water. It's one of the basic needs of a human being to survive. So for me, the philosophy of Ramadan, or the benefits of Ramadan, is to show you that you are capable. Is to show you that you can, refrain from stuff that, and when you are able to refrain from something that you always permissible to use all the year, that gives you a capability to refrain from something that, be it bad habits or, bad conduct or gossiping or, the bad habits in general. So we can refrain, and we have the capability, and Ramadan is telling us, yes, we can.
I think that's a very beautiful way to put it. I never saw it that way. Usually we think of it as counting our blessings, knowing that we're lucky to have basic things, as you mentioned, like water and food and all of these things. But I think that's a very great way to think of it. So usually, Hamza, if you take those things from us, anything we're used to doing in our day-to-day life, we do get angry, especially if it's food and water. So how can someone start controlling their temper during Ramadan?
People during Ramadan, sometimes they use Ramadan as an excuse to make their face looks like, they're upset or they're angry or they didn't have their caffeine dose or their tobacco dose, whatever, those association, the stimulus that we get, and we feel that, this is us and that's what makes us good and work and do other things. And, Ramadan showed us that we still can refrain from drinking, from having food, and as well as working at the same time. So there is that capability, and it's like a training for the soul. And sometimes when you don't, when you restrict yourself from taking your body stuff like food and drinking for your body, it's like you are, emptying yourself for something bigger, which is the spirit intake. So you receive a lot of messages during this month, the holy month of Ramadan, because even the prayer, it's always in a crowd, and when you have a collective energy, and it has a very good vibration, and people, that's why we love Ramadan. You ask anybody, they say Ramadan is the best of the year because we connect with each other and we visit and so on, and it's a beauty.
Definitely. It's such a beautiful month. Because of that, we get to spend a lot of time with our friends and family. And sometimes we're too busy to do that all year long. So we have this 1 month a year where we always do this.
Nobody has an excuse not to show up at Futur.
Exactly, we're actually
Lunch,
all running
yes, we
towards
can skip
futur.
it, yes.
Definitely, for sure. So I think since we do leave a lot of our daily habits when Ramadan starts, a lot of people might start feeling that they are losing their personality maybe or their identity. Is there any way that we can fix that?
Our problem is our identity. Our issue is ourself, is our nafs. And Ramadan, basically, it helps us to have more taqwa. Taqwa is meaning like stopping doing the bad stuff and
Yes.
do the good deed. And sometimes you cannot do good deeds unless you stop some of the things that you've been doing, so you are able to do the other stuff. So
Yes.
I feel that, in this sense, we should embrace Ramadan and we should take advantage of it, and we should be prepared psychologically and physically and socially, so we can get the fruit of Ramadan.
Yes.
The fruit of Ramadan is to be able to refrain from doing bad stuff. And you see people, for example, I give you a small example.
course,
is
go
like
ahead.
it's like people are more exercising during Ramadan.
That's right.
They are always outside and they're walking and they're doing exercises. Now, what stops them from doing that during the rest of the year?
That's true.
We should take that and build upon it.
Exactly.
It's like, we talked about New Year's resolution sometimes back. This is our New Year's resolution, and it helps us because we refrain from doing so many things for certain hours, so we
Yes.
can carry it on. So it is a challenge, a part of the challenge that we always have to take every year, so we get
Exactly.
out from our daily routine and the procedure that we usually do every time.
I agree with you, and maybe we should start looking at this month as a push to continue with maybe all the new good habits that we've started, like going to the gym, healthy food, and a lot of other things,
Right.
of course. So we talked about how some people use Ramadan as an excuse to their anger and their
Yeah.
frustration on their face the whole day. What are things that we can do during fasting, during our fasting hours, to actually keep the negative ideas away and to really control our temper?
We need to, control our thoughts, and Ramadan and this training that we get into Ramadan, it gives us a sense that we can do it, and God is with us, and in the beginning. We start having a tough time. The first day, the second
Yes.
day, you start having headache. You don't want to go out. When it comes to the third day, the fourth day, it becomes normal.
That's right.
So it is what you're telling yourself every morning when you wake up. If you smile and you say, "See, I'm blessed. I have to experience this. Intermittent fasting and not eating. It's good for my body. My
That's
body
right.
functions, and it gives a break for our stomach and for our livers and all the organs of our body for sometimes. That break, we need it, and we can do it. So from that end, you should see Ramadan as taqwa, which is, instead of being upset or angry, no, you can smile and live life with happiness and with joy,
Yes.
with everybody that you touch, even, sometimes, the workers with us. And there is a nice story
Yes.
with the Prophet Muhammad when he saw a lady who was cursing her servant. She was cursing, and it was during the month of Ramadan. He brought a plate of food, and he told the lady to eat it. And she said, "Why are you giving me food when I'm fasting? It's
Yes.
Ramadan." He said, "No, you're doing haram. You are cursing on the other lady. You are not fasting. So it's
Exactly.
better for you to eat." So it's not really the food, and we say, "Oh, I didn't have my caffeine. That's why nobody can talk to me from my employees, from my siblings, from my parents." This
Exactly.
is not how it goes. You should
Yeah.
be able to control yourself. And we had a session before on self-control. Ramadan
Exactly.
really teaches us how to self-control. If you're using the smokers, they're used to it's automatic.
Right.
You open them and they smoke. But now when Ramadan, they're stopping for 30 days. They're stopping for 16 hours. They can do it all year. So,
Exactly.
so it's the way we think. It's our mindset.
I definitely agree with you on that. And as you said, taking away tobacco and caffeine could be really hard
Yeah,
on most of the society,
right,
honestly.
right.
So, as you said, we need to start learning and being strict and controlling ourselves. And this is the perfect month to actually go ahead with
Absolutely.
that. So, finally, do you have any advice that you'd like to give to our viewers during this holy month?
Well, I would like to share with our dear viewers the ABCD. And the B, you know, the alphabet A, B, C, D.
Yes.
The B is for birth, and the D is for death. And we never have a choice in terms of birth. I mean, have you been asked to be born?
Of
I mean,
course
nobody
not.
was asked to be born, or nobody has a choice for the death.
Right.
But between the B and the D, there is a C, and that's the choice that we can live our life in a beautiful way by touching the hearts of the people that we connected and transform them to be better. Now, what can you do? There is an A. It's your attitude. It's your attitude. It's our attitude toward Ramadan. It's how we see Ramadan that makes us, you know, blessed and gives us the capability to move on and be courageous, and gives us the strength and the power to accomplish anything that we want, since we can, you know, refrain from the basic needs, which is water and food.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much. You always leave us with very great advice, Mr. Hamza. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you, as always, for having me.
Thank you. Dear viewers, we had with us Hamza, Taqi Master Performance Consultant. And up next, we have a report, and we'll be right back.